All right, we ready? This is Matt West from BibleQuizzer.net. We are conducting a live interview of Bobby. We'll just go with Bobby Smith. We won't worry about your middle name at this point. But Bobby Smith of Hillsdale, the state champions of the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
this is I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the 8th year in a row that a team from Florida has made it to Thursday. So it's just been 4 different ministries. So we have no continuity in state. So my question to you is, what advantages and disadvantages do you think there are at being in a state where there's such high turnover? Whereas New York, they don't even have a state competition; they just automatically win. And then Tennessee, they have a competition, but I don't think anyone scored over 10 points on them. But what, like last year you went to state and were unable to win, and this year you came and win. There are advantages and disadvantages. What do you think they are?
Like personally as a team,
Yeah.
or for me, I would rather be in like Tennessee or something where you just
get to go automatically.
get to go. But I mean, it's good to see the Jack Now questions. I guess I don't even remember if we used those in Clearwater, but I don't know. I'd rather just be able to think all year you're automatically going to Bob.
So you think you like to focus on the disadvantages?
I would, yeah. In this case, I don't see much of an advantage.
Well, how about this? How many teams come in their first year and are able to make it to Thursday? And yet you guys were able to, because you weren't able to win in state until that was possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so. Now the next question I have, and that question is kind of specific to you. The other questions are pretty much the same questions I ask everybody. The question is, your position is not going into today is not the best. You're not going to get a bye. You have a loss. So do you focus on that? Or do you just say, hey, look, we got to go. We're going to have 4 quizzes. We're going to win them all. Have you focused on looking at your position, or do you not focus on that at all?
Well, I mean, I can imagine New York is able to quiz a little bit. I wouldn't say recklessly, but they don't have to worry so much about the loss. We have it there. I mean, if we get that loss, we're done.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously, I would keep that in the back of my mind. Be careful. Don't just, because when it's so much more comfortable to quiz without a loss.
That's true.
And all the time. So, definitely keep that in mind, but otherwise, just do your best.
Okay.
There's not much more you can do.
Right. It's not like you're trying to win, whereas without a loss you weren't.
Right.
But it does invade your mind territory. Now, did you guys sit down at the beginning of the year and say, "Hey, here's our list of goals for the year," or is that something you did, or did you just, not really? Or
The only goals we really talk about are like what we're gonna memorize.
okay.
I mean, it's not like, we want to go win second here and win second here.
Well, I mean, obviously you're trying to win every tournament.
Yeah.
But like you went to Squannet, you went to ACS. Now, when you prep for those, you cannot prep for both simultaneously. Now, naturally, prepping for ACS does help you for Squannet.
Right.
Prepping for Squannet does help you for ACS.
Right.
So some teams sit down and say, look, we're going to do our best at Squannet. We're going to try to win, but ultimately our goal is to prepare for ACS, or maybe vice versa. So it's not so much. Obviously, every tournament you go to, you want to win.
Yeah.
But as you look at the landscape, what is our primary goal at the end of the year? But if you didn't do it, that's fine.
Okay, well, like after Asheville, we focused on ACS, not Squannet, because we figured the questions here are harder.
Right.
If we go there, it's going to be should have been a piece of cake. But
Well, I mean, it was a piece of cake for the other teams too.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think your team specifically needs to do to come away with a victory?
All of us.
Score more points than the other team. I'm
Exactly.
guessing. Yeah, that would be helpful. Yes.
We can all jump. John won a medal in Athens, and Kat won a medal in Asheville, and Sarah quizzed out in the last tournament, and Melissa over here, I call her the source of knowledge.
The fountain of knowledge?
Yeah. She's leaving.
Awesome.
Sorry. Whoops.
The fountain of knowledge has left the room. Apparently, no one should keep paying attention.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say in English. But just do what we do.
Yeah. Okay. Now, do you think, and we talked about this, I know off camera before we started, the quizzing is a little bit different, and I know you guys haven't seen it. There's a bunch of rowdy fans who know nothing about Bible Quiz. It's a huge space where there's like 800 people who could watch. I don't know that I've ever quizzed in a room that big other than there, Stratton Hall. There tend to be a lot of errors in these quizzes, possibly because of those things. You're using chairs you haven't used before. You're on a stage where the chairs like to slide back. Do you think that those sorts of climate changes affect how you quiz, or do you think, you know what, it's just going to be like quizzing every day? The audience doesn't make any difference. I could be quizzing in practice, or do you say, hey, I like to rise to the occasion, or what are your thoughts on that?
I would say the only disadvantage would be the chairs. I mean, really, because, I mean, when you sit down and you get an answer right, and then there are other people, and stuff, it's kind of cool, but otherwise it's almost distracting. You know, it's like they're going on to the next question, everybody's still clapping and trying to quiet down and all this stuff. I would say the only disadvantage would be the chairs.
Okay.
And that, you know, a little bit, but the chairs.
All right. Now, I noticed a couple things. First, that you're flanked by some people. Do you want to tell us about these people next to you?
Yeah, this is John. I was talking about that on the middle of that.
You want to say John? You want to say? I mean, John. Do you want to say?
John, hi.
Your face is like half.
Yeah, I'm half. Yeah.
He's half in.
He doesn't have a right ear over here.
Yes.
That's why he doesn't normally show us.
Yes. Tell us about your medal at Athens. Did you take it home, shine it up, polish it, buff it?
Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that at all, because well, in the beginning, I quizzed out a couple times. The first couple quizzes were always easier, so
Good work.
it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't expecting a medal at all because Kat over here, other fountain of knowledge. And then when I heard that she had only gotten, was only a few questions away from getting a medal, I was like, well, I have no hope. But then when they called my name, I was like, wow, I was extremely happy. That was my goal in Athens.
Was that the highlight of your day?
Absolutely.
Right. And you're flanked on the other side by?
My sister, Catherine, Kat Smith, who won that. And she's been ACS. She quizzed out like the first couple times at least, but she's been coming up and whenever I quiz out, she's been
excellent. So now, do you have any parting words of wisdom you want to leave us with?
Words of wisdom. Kelton told me about this question.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I asked him that.
You and Kelton are forming a fraternity. You're gaining up on me.
Yeah.
I'm outnumbered.
Words of wisdom. Concerning what? Just in general?
What areas do you have wisdom in?
Basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
When playing basketball, if you're going to post up,
be big.
be big.
Bible quiz. I mean, this is Bible quiz.
Yes.
I guess.
For those of you who don't know and are just watching because you see a cute boy on Ustream,
Who's he talking to?
yes, this is Bible quiz. Is a great activity. How many years have you been quizzing, Bobby?
This is my
Fourth year. And how many books of the Bible have you learned?
Well, I just last year and this year I did whole books.
10.
And
And
then
the year before that, what was the book?
actually I don't know if I
Mark,
did this
1st and
year.
3rd, John, and Jude.
Yeah, except all I did was Mark 9 through 12.
You guys got 9.5
Okay.
So
So you've reached about double digit in books. Good work. And you too could learn that and participate in Bible quiz, and we would love it if you did.
you
This has been the BibleQuizzer.net podcast. See ya. Let's stop.